I heard rumblings that Manny Ramirez was playing in the Japanese minor leagues. Yeah, he played for a team called the Kochi Fighting Dogs. Knowing that I would be able to meet Manny Ramirez in Japan, of all places, playing in the minors of all leagues, was like a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, he helped break the curse.
There was no curse.
Yeah, there was never a curse. It's all superstition.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Fasten those seatbelts and strap in. We'll get you to those margaritas ASAP.
Hola, bonjour. Ciao bella madame et monsieur. Salam and salam.
Hey, how are you? Welcome back to Drop a Pin. Very excited because today we're talking about Japan, a spot where me and Chaps have a lot of experience, but we're not going to be zeroing in on Okinawa. That deserves to be its own episode because you lived there for so long. So this is just going to be Japan in general. We'll probably talk a lot of Tokyo, and we'll definitely talk about my first time in Japan because it was one of the more memorable trips of my time here at Barstool Sports. Should we get into it? Do we have any other pre-boarding to discuss?
No, I'm ready to get into Japan.
Yeah, once again, subscribe to the new Drop a Pin channel. We got some vlogs up there too. We actually we dropped a sumo wrestling vlog, which will have come out before this because at the end of this episode, after we talk about Japan just with me and Chaps, we got a very famous sumo wrestler on to tell us all about the ins and outs of sumo wrestling culture.
There's so many things that he talks about that I wanted to look more into. And one of them is the eating culture is just fascinating to me. I would have thought that those motherfuckers were eating all day, every day.
No, they just you'll learn about this in the interview, but it's kind of just wake up, workout, eat, sleep.
Yeah, and it's like they do it almost like old school Bear Bryant style.
Yeah, the reason they're so fat isn't necessarily they eat so much, it's because they always sleep immediately after eating. Mm-hmm. So that's concerning because sometimes I'll just chow down at like 11 p.m.
I think that's what I went from 225 down to 205 simply because my wife and I stopped watching TV downstairs right by the kitchen after I smoked, and I don't eat snacks.
Okay.
And immediately go to bed.
Yes.
So I feel like I've dropped the weight. I think I mean, doing that consistently, I could become a sumo wrestler, I think.
Yeah. And shout out, if we have anybody listening who has the body type of a Chris Clemmer per se, the key isn't necessarily eating. Just always go to bed right after you eat.
You know who I think would be good at it? No disrespect, just because for a big fella, he is athletic. Beef.
He would be good at sumo wrestling?
I think so. Because he's got balance. He's got balance on his feet from being a golfer.
You're saying he's got balance, but he took a tumble at Camp Barstool.
He was drunk.
Yeah, true.
I've never been more nervous for a coworker when that happened either.
Yeah, he was rolling into the lake, but luckily we had Kadick there to stop him.
Yeah, he put his hands out. He did the old school. I think he even did that little kickback thing that he does on.
Yes, exactly. And in the vlog, you can watch Kadick, T-Bob, myself, and Spider try to go head-to-head with a sumo wrestler. And I think it proved my point. They would be good in the NFL. But we go deep into sumo wrestling at the end of this. Now let's just talk Japan in general.
Okay.
My first trip to Japan, I'd already been in China for a while. I think I was in China for a good 4 or 5 years before I ever flew to Japan. And that was a big mistake because they have budget airlines where I was like, wait, I could be going from like Shanghai to Osaka for less than $200 round trip.
Damn.
So I should have been doing that more often. But what finally got me there is I heard rumblings that Manny Ramirez was playing in the Japanese minor leagues. Yeah, he played for a team called the Kochi Fighting Dogs.
What year was that? Do you remember?
Yeah,
I think I remember. I want to say it was either right when I was leaving or right after. So like 2009-ish?
This was... No. This was 2017.
Oh, I was way wrong.
Yeah, this was after. So this was like probably, I think I went there in like May of 2017. And I started working for Barstool February of 2017. So this was kind of one of my first trips out of China that I did while working for Barstool. It was a completely like a solo trip because I was so new at the company. I was like, I don't know what my budget is, how much I'm like allowed to spend. So I wasn't about to hire like a freelance camera guy. I just took a GoPro, booked a flight, and flew to Japan solo. And I'm so glad I did. But the reason this trip worked out so well is I think I either posted on Twitter or I wrote a blog being like, Manny Ramirez is playing in the Japanese minors. I'm going to watch his game. This is going to be awesome. And like a couple hours after I wrote that blog, someone reached out and he was like, yo, my older brother plays on that team with Manny Ramirez out there. He was a dude from California. This dude's name was Zach Colby, and he was one of Manny's American teammates on the Fighting Dogs. As well, he was the man responsible for bringing Manny to Japan in the first place. I don't really know how he pulled that off.
I just found him on Instagram one day, and
or you found his wife on Instagram.
I found his with his wife.
Yeah. Now, the reason I heard about him playing out there is because a news article went viral that in his contract, he was guaranteed free sushi in the city of Kochi, Japan. And also, like, batting practice was optional or something like that. Everyone's like, this is insane.
It's weird to make that part of your contract when you went over there with as much money as Manny Ramirez had. He probably had $100 million in career earnings by that point.
Manny Ramirez does not realize how rich he is. And I was going to share this story later on, but I'll just share it now. So I met some people over there that were very close to him that were kind of like his caretakers while he was out there. And at one point, Manny walked up to him and was like, man, like, I really need a new laptop. Like, my computer doesn't work well. And he was like, yeah, well, you should just go to the Apple store and get a MacBook. And Manny goes, yeah, but I've heard like MacBooks are really expensive.
Look it up, Sam. Look what his career MLB earnings is. It has to be over $100 million. So he's like generational wealthy.
There were rumors when he was still playing in the $240 million.
He can afford a MacBook.
Yeah, he can get a MacBook.
Even this bad boy, the Pro.
Yeah. And there were rumors when he was playing in the MLB, in his locker, there would be all of these envelopes just filled with his checks that he hadn't even opened or cashed. Like,
wait, they do checks? They don't, you're playing, you're a world champion and you're going down to Ace Cash Express or like a payday loan?
I definitely
How is that
heard
not
that.
direct? Maybe because every single payment, you think every payment that he gets, like if it was over a month, I don't know what payment schedule MLB players do, if it's like bi-monthly or monthly. I would bet if it's monthly, every single payment is higher than the FEC insurance.
Yeah.
Like, because it's $250,000, right, that a bank will insure, like as far as cash. Every single one of his payments had to have been that. Like the years that he made $20, $30 million.
Yeah. No, it is said. It says there are
Hit
many
that
reports.
top link, the sports track. I want to see what he made year by year.
There are many reports and anecdotes about Manny Ramirez not cashing his MLB paychecks, which contributed to the Manny being Manny persona. He was known for storing uncashed checks in his locker and leaving them there for a long time, seemingly unconcerned with them. And like, dude, I grew up a Boston Red Sox fan, so just like knowing that I would be able to meet Manny Ramirez in Japan of all places, playing in the minors of all leagues, was like a dream come true.
Yeah.
You know, he helped break the curse. Hey, man, I just have to say thank you for helping the Red Sox break the curse.
There wasn't no curse.
Yeah, there was never a curse. It's all superstition. That dude hits me up, Zach Colby, and he was like, hey, man, when you arrive in Kochi, let me know. I'll come and pick you up from the train station. And he did, and he was like, I got you an all-access pass to our next 3 games, which meant, when he says all access, which meant I got to hang out in the dugout. This is Manny's personal dugout. He's got 3 jerseys. I'm not a dick, so I'm not going to steal one of his jerseys like that asshole who took Tom Brady's jersey. I was just handing out.
Bobby Valentine, and Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, so it was just like me, all these random Japanese players, and then Manny Ramirez, and there was like 2 or 3 other foreign players on the team. One guy was named Lars Anderson, who was, I think, expected to be like a big deal pitcher for the Red Sox. I don't think things quite panned out, but super nice guy. And I was just hanging out with them. And it was like unreal. I was very nervous. I have been known to get starstruck, but that was probably the most starstruck I've been. But like after a while, once you get to know Manny, he's just like a really nice guy, warm guy. I think he, towards the end of his career, there were some concerning rumors about him. Like, didn't he threw a secretary down the stairs?
Yeah, he had some issues in the dugout, like not the dugout, but the tunnel. I believe that's where it happened.
Yeah. When I met him, he had gone sober. I think he had been sober for the last like 3 or 4 years, and he had become a man of God. So very religious dude, but super friendly. I thanked him for breaking the curse and winning the Red Sox a World Series. I hooked him up with some dip. He was still packing fat dips. And I also just got to learn about Japanese baseball culture.
Which is fucking awesome.
It is awesome. I went to some major league games in Tokyo, which we'll talk about. This was the minors, but even the minors, very fun atmosphere. All the Japanese players, like in between, I think this was like during their version of the 7th inning stretch or something, they would just go and like smoke cigarettes in this like back room.
Yeah.
So I got to go.
Baseball hoon lounge.
Yeah. So I got to go and crank hoons with the players. As we'll talk about on this pod, cigarette culture in Japan is even like bigger than it is in China.
Yeah. It's almost like one of those, what's that old airline where people used to get dressed up back in the day?
Oh, yeah. The TN, it's TWA.
TWA. It's almost like flying on those bad boys. Everywhere you go, people are smoking. But I feel like that smoking culture is so different. Like here, the biggest cigarette ads when we were younger, you're not allowed to do it now, obviously, were Cowboy Killers, Marlboro Reds. You had Camels that were constantly on TV that they were advertising. And those are all super heavy cigarettes. Like the Marlboro Red, if you're not like a cigarette smoker and you rip one of those bad boys, I feel like it's basically meth.
It will knock you on your ass for sure.
Yeah, you'll be dizzy.
Yeah.
Like I've never been as like kind of like out of sorts as much as when I absolutely ripped a cowboy heater when I hadn't smoked before.
Especially if you've had like 7 to 8 beers and then you rip a Marlboro Red.
Yeah, you're
and
like, whoa.
If you're not used to it, I ripped one of those and just went immediately backwards and fell.
You know who I bet you would like to talk to as far as cigarettes? There's a dude on TikTok that's like a cigarette sommelier.
Reviewer, yes.
Yeah.
I've seen him.
He's like, this one's got like a little, you could almost taste a touch of vanilla. I'm like, no, you can't.
No, yeah.
You absolutely
I have
cannot.
done hoon reviews in the past. Maybe I should get back into that. But I don't really crank hoons too often anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you were saying, Japanese cigs, though, are very weak.
Yeah, super light.
Super light. Not the case in China. In China, those will also knock you on your ass. Unless you're smoking the Jiangnan High 8s. That was the white guy's cigarette of choice in China.
Did they have Miamis there?
I think I do remember seeing Miami's.
Yeah, those were good.
Yeah. So yeah, I got to hang out with Manny and his whole team for 3 days, and it was true. There was a chain of restaurants there that guaranteed Manny free sushi whenever he wanted it while he was playing out there. And his teammates told me that the whole like batting practice being optional thing wasn't true, but while I was out there, so they had 3 home games in a row, or they had a double header. So I think they played 2 games in one day, and then they were traveling for a game, and Manny was just like, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna chill here." And no one could really say anything because he's Manny Ramirez. They were like,
yeah.
"All right, I guess you're just not going to go to this game."
Did you say he was in the minor leagues?
Yeah, this is when he was playing in the minors.
Why on earth would he do that with so much money? Because he thought he was poor, I guess?
No. This is just love of the game. He was at the point where I think no major league teams in Japan wanted him, but he still wanted to play baseball.
He still plays in some, like, I think like a Dominican league or something like that. I saw him on Twitter hitting absolute bombs, like, within the last 6 months.
Dude, he is just a baseball enthusiast. He loves the game.
His son's probably going to be a major leaguer, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. I think he was like always calling home and checking in on his kids and wife when I was out there. Yeah, he kind of like, he went from being a wild card to just being like a sober, religious family man. So good for Manny.
Yeah, I think most spouses, if you had $220 million in the bank and you're like, I want to go play for sushi in Japan.
He was being paid too, but
probably, not much. There's no way he got paid much and is a minor leaguer.
Yeah.
That he's definitely not getting paid $20 million like he did when he signed the 8-year, $200 million contract.
No, not at all.
Like, you got to stay home.
Yeah.
I feel like, being gone 81 games a year, playing for as long as he did. I think he played like 14 years in the MLB. That's a long time away from home. A shit ton of time away from home. And then to go to Japan and be like, I'm just fucking hanging out and eating egg salad sandwiches from a gas station.
Yeah. But hey, he seemed to be loving it out there.
Yeah, for the love of the game, for sure.
I almost met up with him a second time because I think he played 2 years for that team, and they were doing their version of spring training in Taiwan. And I flew to Taiwan because I knew the team was going to go. And the day I land, I get a call from someone else on the team. They go, hey, unfortunately, Manny says it's too hot in Taiwan for him right now, so he's not coming. And I'd already flown to Taiwan. So then I just spent the next week just chewing a bunch of beetle nuts in Taiwan.
And so he didn't just play in Japan. The Fubon Guardians? Where the fuck is that at? And the Iowa Cubs, the Kochi Fighting Dogs.
Yeah, that was.
And the 2020 he played for Sydney Blue Sox.
Oh shit! He went all the way to Australia.
Yeah, but the Sydney Blue Sox.
Where is? I think Fubon could be, if I had to guess, South Korea. Whoa! It's in the Chinese Professional Baseball League. Oh no, it's in Taiwan.
Okay.
Because I was like, mainland China does not have a baseball league. I think the reason Japan and South Korea love baseball. China does not, because I think when you think baseball, you think it's America's pastime. And like right after World War II, that's when China went communist. They weren't trying to be playing America's pastime.
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't be shocked if it was like banned for a while.
The Japanese baseball culture is so strong. I think you could argue that's their biggest celebrities on billboards, they had like Hideki Matsui, they had Daisuke Matsuzaka, they had Ichiro. Ichiro's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think their biggest celebrities that they have is baseball players.
Yeah, I would say so.
For sure, internationally known, it's baseball players.
And I think there are some players in Japan that are very good and have opportunities to go to the MLB, but they're just so content playing in Japan that they never go abroad.
Well, some of those baseball games that you go to, it's some of the most electric atmospheres in sports.
Yes. For some reason, at one game, they were handing out mini umbrellas. And like anytime someone hit a bomb, because like the ball would be going into the stands, everyone would take out their umbrellas and do this like choreographed dance. I've got footage of it.
I love it.
Yeah, I went to 2 games in Tokyo. They have one team, the Tokyo Giants, and then they have a team, the Tokyo Swallows. And I bought a shirt, and it just I bought a hat at the game, and it just said Swallows in pink letters on it.
That's probably electric whenever you're in the red light district, though.
Yeah, I had that hat for so long. I gave that hat to White Sox Dave to wear in a Rediscovering America video when White Sox Dave was being, who's that documentarian? Very
Ken
liberal.
Burns?
No, very liberal. He did Bowling for Columbine.
Oh, Michael Moore?
Yeah, he was Michael Moore, and I had him just wearing that Swallows hat. But yeah, at those games, you can also just get bottles of booze, full-on bottles of hard alcohol that you just kind of like slowly sip in your seats.
A little bit of Japanese whiskey, sake, obviously.
Yeah, which that would not fly in America.
They're big Johnny Walker fans in Japan, too.
Oh, yeah.
Johnny Walker Black sells like crazy over there.
Yeah.
$40 for a rack of Budweiser.
And they love whiskey because the highball, which is just a whiskey and soda, has to be like besides sake, the national drink of Japan.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because they have bars in Japan that are just highball bars.
Yeah.
They'll serve like 20 different types. You can get them flavored, like a grapefruit highball. They're delicious.
And those buffets too. Like you can go to a buffet in Japan. They'll have great sushi. They'll have great drinks that you could do. It'll be like $45.
Yep. And at Japanese baseball games, they do divide the fans. They have like one team fans all sit on one side of the park and the other team's fans sit on the opposite side.
How do you feel about that?
I like how we mix it up in America.
I do too.
I don't know. Japan is like at one point when I was at a Giants game, I went to the other side and started to talk shit to the opposing team, and like some guards came up and had to like escort me back to my side.
Are we not allowed to be here?
Yeah, it's wild culture. They have cheerleaders, which they do that in South Korea too. I feel like the MLB should have cheerleaders.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. You would just have them stand on top of the dugout and do cool dances for the
I don't
fans.
feel like baseball lends itself to that.
I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. A bunch of hot Japanese chicks dancing on top of the dugout.
Sure, if it's like you're horny.
No, I think it's cool because they can also they lead the fans in these like choreographed songs and dances that like all of the fans know. I mean, in Boston we all sing Sweet Caroline, but it'd be cool if we had a bunch of cheerleaders leading us through Sweet Caroline.
I almost sang Sweet Caroline in an accent. I'm glad I didn't. Held back.
Okay.
Credit to me on that. But I mean, that's where you remember the Angels when they went on their World Series run probably 15 years ago when they had the Rally Monkey. You remember the Rally Monkey?
Not really.
They had the Rally Monkey, and they also did Thunder Sticks. They were big on the Thunder Sticks. So Thunder Sticks, if you don't know, they're like these, they look almost like miniature bats that are filled with air, and they are loud as hell. What year was that? What year was the...
2018.
Okay. Yeah, they were electric back in the day. That Rally Monkey had a whole lot of power.
That's like Young Pageview's Rally Chinchilla for the St. Louis Blues.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to watch any of the content I filmed on that trip, the video is called Manny Ramirez.
Fantastic name. Well done.
Yeah. And that was, I think, one of the first vids where, like, because when you first get hired by Barstool, I think Portnoy kind of like tries to stay up to date on what you're doing and like watches your content. And then like after I did that vid, he's kind of like, all right, Donnie does is good. He can like film whatever he wants because he was a big Manny Ramirez fan too. So after he like saw that content, I got a much longer leash.
Nice.
Because once he like sees that you're putting out good stuff, he probably hasn't watched a single one of my vids in the last like 4 years.
Yeah.
But he was just like, all right, he's putting out good content. I don't really have to keep tabs on him, which is good. But I remember I was in Japan that trip for my 30th birthday, and like it was the first time I felt like, oh, I've made it. Like I was not getting paid a lot. I think I was still on my first salary. I was probably getting paid less than what Goldfinger gets paid now. No offense. Not a jab, but I was just like so happy that I had finally managed to get some sort of job where at least I was being paid and doing what I love.
Yeah.
And also that's when I fell in love with Japan in general, especially just the food and drinking culture. Like,
yes.
I didn't have a single bad meal while I was there, whether I was at a fancy restaurant or a 7-Eleven.
And their cleanliness, like their requirements there, is off the charts. Like I ate so much street food there and never got sick.
Yeah, I don't think you would get sick. And it's not even with Japanese food. Like their pizza places are apparently some of the best in the world too.
Everything's clean.
Yeah, everything's clean, and all the chefs take so much pride, even if it's just like a small hole-in-the-wall place.
Dude, even McDonald's looks like the commercial. Like when they bring out your burger, it's not slopped together by somebody that first of all, if I worked at McDonald's, your cheeseburger would come out looking like an absolute abortion. Like I wouldn't give the slightest of fucks. But when they come out, they actually have their French fries that are standing up straight in the box. Like everything is evenly put on the burgers, like from a high-level Michelin star restaurant to McDonald's. Everything is, there's care in everything because they take so much pride in everything that they do.
They do. And they also they take pride in just helping you too. If you ask a Japanese person for help, even if they can't speak a word of English, they can tell you need help. They will stick with you until they have managed to somehow help you. Mm-hmm. Like my wife got lost in a train station there, and I was already on the train. She had gone to the bathroom, but then she couldn't find her way back. And she asked the lady, and the lady was like, "I'm sorry, I don't really know where that is, but I'll try to help you." And my wife's just like running around frantically. And this lady follows my wife just to make sure that she is going to be okay. And she finally finds the train at the last minute. And as we're pulling away, that lady is on the platform waving goodbye to us.
That's so awesome.
I just followed her the whole time to make sure she was safe.
Japanese people are some of the best folks around.
Mm-hmm. I was in a McDonald's in Japan, and I had to go across the street and buy something, and I had my laptop in the McDonald's, and I asked a Japanese guy, "Can you just keep an eye on this?" He said yes, and I ended up being gone longer than I thought. Got back 15, 20 minutes later. He had taken my request literally. He had not taken an eye off of my laptop. He was just there staring at it. Had not looked away the entire time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then after one of the Kochi Fighting Dogs games, Manny Ramirez had signed a hat of my, like a Kochi Fighting Dogs hat, which I think I've since lost.
Swallow Manny Ramirez.
No, it was not. It was not the Swallows hat. But that night had a lot of bevies, and I lost the hat. So the following morning, I'm just trying to like retrace my steps, and I was like, I did go into a 7-Eleven at one point. And this was more than 24 hours later, and I went back into the 7-Eleven. I think I had just left it on one of the chips aisles. And I walked in, and the guy was like, your hat. And he had it for me. It's in the back. And it was like a signed Manny hat, you know. He could have kept that, probably gotten a little money for it, but he had it saved for me.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, after my time down in Kochi with the Fighting Dogs, I then took a train back to Tokyo and was there for about a week. And
the trains, by the way, are fucking awesome.
Yeah, we got to just shout out the Japanese trains.
Did you see that they launched one like 3 weeks ago that goes 300 miles an hour?
I fully believe it. I think China hasn't beat, though, with the maglev.
Like, how in the world did we develop the transcontinental railroad system, and now we get our brakes beat off in terms of train travel? Like, it'll take...
Oh, they got a Japanese maglev now.
Yeah. That thing, I saw a reporter that was standing by, and that plane or that train ends up going crazy fast by him, and you could tell that the reporter's about to nut. Like, when it goes by, he's like, holy shit, that was incredible. But it would be. I mean, for us, it takes, 6 hours to get from Boston to D.C., which isn't that far.
Longer than 6 hours.
Yeah, it's not.
I think it takes like 9.
Okay, so it's not that far. They could do it on that train in like an hour and a half.
Yeah, can you scroll down? Can we see how fast that train
I think it was almost 300 miles an hour.
Because like it might be even faster.
Let's see, scrolling down.
375 miles per hour.
Yeah.
That is insane.
And it's called a maglev. It stands for magnetic levitation. So it's not even on wheels or on a track. It's on it's got magnets. So it's just like there's no friction.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Frank the Tank is freaking out in New Jersey.
Yeah, because New Jersey Transit is the absolute worst.
Yeah.
But Japan, I think like 98% of their trains are always on time. Something like that. And a little recommendation, if you go to Japan, get a Japan Rail Pass. You can do like a 7-day one or a 2-week one. You just pay a set price, and then you can just take the trains wherever you want through most of the country. And that's definitely the easiest way to get around.
I mean, when you look at the speed of some of those Chinese trains, no wonder they don't have that many airports. Why would you? Like if you can cruise around the country fast as hell like that, you're essentially flying. You're going almost as fast as a commercial plane.
Because is a plane like 650 miles per hour?
Yeah, something like that. Like 500, 600 miles an hour. I'm sure some of them can get up like faster. 850 to or 525 to 600 is the average speed. But when you're doing that, you don't have to go through TSA. You don't have to go like through the checkpoints. You don't have to wait for boarding and all that. You can just walk up and be like the train leaves in 5 minutes. You could walk on 5 minutes before you go.
And they have a hoon cart.
Yeah, hoon cart. And way better food.
Oh, yeah. And all the train stations will sell these bento boxes with whatever type of food you want.
Bento boxes are the goat.
They are. It's just like a little bit of every type of food you want.
I used to get them all the time. Like you go in, get some yakitori and sushi and a little bento box, and it'll have edamame in it, and then some kimchi and a little bit of soy sauce and wasabi, and be like $6 for a great lunch.
Yeah. Maybe a couple gyozas too.
I'm a big gyoza guy.
I like the term. I think I came up with it, but I'm sweating gyozas, dude.
What does that mean?
It means you're sweating fucking seeds.
Okay.
You're sweating dumplings.
Okay.
Sweating gyozas. I don't know. I maybe have used that once in my life. But yeah, the trains are incredible. They also have like carts that are coming up and down the aisles selling like whatever. What are those like? So I always say this, that the Japanese invented the hard seltzer. Like seltzers are all the rage now. Those little carbonated clear drinks that they've been selling for decades are
Soju?
It's not soju. It might be made with soju. I think it might just be like a soju and seltzer in a can.
Yeah, soju is so popular there too, even though it's like a Korean thing. I also like one of the other things that I love about Japan culture is the vending machine culture. Like if you want hot coffee, you don't have to go into a store. You could just go up to a Georgia vending machine, because Georgia is a brand of coffee in Japan.
Yeah.
And they'll have it. It's like perfectly creamed. It's not like a lot of the ones here are way too sweet. It's perfect coffee. And it comes in a little can, almost like a Red Bull can. And it is delicious. It'll be like $1.50. Mm-hmm. And you can also get used panties. So like the vending machine is like as varied as it could possibly be.
Yeah, I tried to search for a used panties vending machine because I heard rumors about those. I couldn't find one, but I think they did exist at one point.
I've definitely seen multiple dildo machines.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I started to see those in China as well.
Yeah.
Yep. They had a sex toy vending machine.
I mean, that is the best place to buy a dildo.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, they would sell like even in like all of the convenience stores in China, while you're checking out, you could buy a cock ring, a vibrator.
Yeah.
It was all right there.
Honestly, shout out cock rings.
I've never had sex while wearing a cock ring.
I did yesterday.
Yeah. Now, when you're wearing a cock ring, it's more for your partner's pleasure though, right?
No. I feel like one... This is ridiculous that we're talking about this. One, you don't nut as fast.
Ooh, okay.
This is preposterous to talk about. You don't nut as fast, and whenever you do, it's almost like you're edging yourself a little bit, and your dick gets absolutely diamond. Like
because it helps like trap the blood in there.
Yeah, it restricts the blood flow. Game changer, some would say, especially if you take Wellbutrin.
What's Wellbutrin?
It could be used for multiple things. One, it's like a supplement for ADHD. It's also like a heart medicine, but your dick is limp as fresh spaghetti.
But you strap on or you throw on the cock ring, and then all of a sudden it's
yeah, and there's multiple ways to do it. They're varied. Like you can wrap it around your balls, you can wrap it around your shaft, you can wrap it around your head. Like really, the choice is yours.
All right, maybe I'll give it a go sometime in the future.
I've got one you could borrow.
Yeah, the carbonated drink I was thinking of is called Chu Hai. So if you're in Japan, just go to a convenience store and grab a Chu Hai.
You know, all this time that I've been saying soju, that is what I mean.
Yeah, so it's actually, I think in Korea they call it soju. This stuff is called shochu.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's similar. It's like traditional chuhai is made with barley, shochu, and carbonated water flavored with lemon. But some modern commercial variants use vodka in place of shochu.
Grape ones too. There's grape ones.
Yeah, they got all different flavors. And some of them, they range from like 6 to 9%. Great drink. So they were the true inventors of hard seltzers. I can't believe it took America that long to come out with a hard seltzer.
Yeah, shout out Lucky One Lemonade.
Yeah. Well, that's just a hard lemonade, though. But
Delicious.
yeah, if any seltzer company wants to hop on board and sponsor us, I do like a good seltzer.
Yeah, high noon.
And then just like this 7-Elevens in general are incredible. Like, I mean, the 7-Eleven sushi, it's great. You would not want to eat 7-Eleven sushi here in the U.S., but there it's very fresh. But they even have, I remember buying like mini sausages that you could just buy a bag of these like mini salamis that tasted like, you know, French salami, high quality French salami. And then I bought a bag of brie balls too. And I was just popping like a mini sausage and a brie ball in my mouth. It's like a little portable charcuterie tray.
Yeah, that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, great shit. But
Also,
yeah.
the egg salad sandwiches from
Yes.
gas stations are great.
Yeah, they are known for having like top-notch egg salad, right?
I think whenever you go to like the Netherlands, they have a reputation of having great pastries there. I think that the bread in Japan is far superior to most places. Pastries in general, like, are so good. If you're making an egg salad sandwich or just really a sandwich in general, and you have Japanese milk bread, that sandwich is miles better than with regular like Wonder Bread.
There's a spot in Chicago that serves milk bread sandwiches. It's called Sando Street. So if you want to have it delivered to the office after this, I think that's what I might be doing.
Yeah, I do. That sounds delicious.
When you were in Japan, did you ever make it to the Tsukiji fish market?
No.
Whatever it's called. It's like the world famous fish market, right? In Tokyo.
Yeah, it's huge, where they'll sell, I think that's the highest selling tuna of all time is from there. It was like $1 million.
Yeah. Now, I woke up at like 3:30 a.m. and I got in line and was able to watch a tuna auction.
Yeah.
And it's wild. You just like these full tunas.
And they're huge.
Yeah. Like a big tuna is this size of what? Like, it's larger than a goat.
It's probably like a 7-month-old porpoise.
Okay. Yeah, sure. If you can imagine that.
Yeah. 10 feet and 1,000 pounds.
And I kind of forget how the auction works. I mean, it's super high intensity, but what they do is they take this little tool where you can take a cross section of the tuna meat. So you'll come up and observe that cross section to just see what sort of quality you're dealing with. And then they start the auction and it's just rapid fire.
Yeah.
And some of those will end up selling for like 100,000 or like what was the most expensive?
I think $1
tuna?
million.
Damn.
Look up the most expensive tuna. Let's see. Purchased for $3.1 million in 2019. Holy shit. A sushi icon, Kiyoshi Kimura. God damn, dude.
Yeah. I think, so that was like a crazy exception. I think sometimes they can be more closer to like 30,000, but that's still a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, how do you look at a tuna and be like, whew, I'd rather have that tuna than a house on Nantucket.
Dude, well, the thing is, they can, like, if they bring that tuna and it's super high quality to like a fancy restaurant, that one tuna has, I don't know, hundreds of pounds of meat. So they might, I assume if they're paying that much, they are able to make their money back just by selling each little piece for so much.
It's kind of like Wagyu, you know, like if you get a super expensive cut of like a beef tenderloin of Wagyu, you could sell each 1-inch little slice of it at usually way less than that for like $200. So you're probably going to get your money back there. 3.1, they must charge an insane amount. With high quality sushi, one of my favorite documentaries I've ever watched. I don't remember the name, but
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
Yes.
Yep.
Fantastic. So this guy, What do they only seat like 15 people a day or something like that? Something
Yeah, I think the
crazy.
restaurant itself can only sit about 15 people.
Yeah, and I think it's
they'll
like
do
10 at a time.
Yeah.
And they have guys, like one of the guys is, correct me if I'm wrong, but they'll do like 5 years of just prepping like the cucumbers.
Yeah, and I know like Jiro himself, trained for maybe 10 plus years before he felt he had the confidence to start serving sushi to customers. And that's the case with like most chefs out there. I mean, they train until they feel like they have mastered this cuisine. And only then would they try to start their own spot. And I think the place that Jiro runs is just very unassuming. I think it's just in a train station.
Yeah, it's in a train station.
Okay, yeah. I was able to see it, but if you want to get a seat there, you got to book that out like months and months in advance. So
And you kind of have to have a connection too.
yeah, I was not
to know
I was not
Dante or
able to
something.
eat there, but I mean, as I said, you can't really go wrong with any of the sushi there, but it looks like an unreal experience. I mean, when I was out there, I got to try blowfish, and blowfish, it's highly poisonous.
Mm-hmm.
So any blowfish blood, blowfish intestines, blowfish, their spleen or their kidneys, if you like eat, I think it's like 2 milliliters of the toxin that's just naturally in blowfish will kill you. So those chefs have to train for about 2 to 5 years in order to learn how to prepare it safely before they can legally sell it. Because if you eat their muscle, like if you eat any of just like the normal muscle, it's perfectly safe. But if you get a little bit of that toxin on it, it's going to kill you.
There's so many fish. Why? Like, why would you risk that?
It was seen as like
A super delicacy.
but it was also seen as like showing signs of bravery. Like if you would eat blowfish, you're like, I have balls.
Okay.
So it was kind of like the like manliest thing that Japanese men could eat.
Okay. Pretty manly.
It's
Blowfish.
blowfish. Yep. Very manly. And you can only get it at like certain licensed places.
That has to be only like 2 bites. It's not like blowfish are big.
You'd be surprised.
I mean, they got bigger tits underneath them, but they're not huge by any means. Just do regular blowfish. I mean, the blowfish is not a big blowfish at all. Look at that. Palm size. Yeah, the
Yeah,
tits
you're
are
right.
big. Yeah.
I could take that down in 2 bites.
Yeah. That's like a drumstick. It is. It does look like a fish drumstick.
I guess so. Japan's Ministry for Health reports around 50 blowfish poisonings a year with a handful of deaths.
That's way more than alligators.
Yeah.
The blowfish is more dangerous than an alligator. Who would have thought? Not me.
Now, I wonder if you get pricked by one of them while like snorkeling, could that kill you too?
No. I've been pricked.
You've been pricked by a blowfish?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, I can't say definitively that it never would, but I got by one. I didn't realize that they had little spines on them while I was doing some snorkeling.
Yeah, they're cute.
Very cute.
They're very cute. But yeah, just the seafood in Japan is off the charts. We learned this when we did our Norway episode. They never ate salmon until they saw like the Norwegians eating it. They're like, oh, this would make a great sushi. So Norway brought salmon sushi to Japan. That fish market, if you ever go to Japan, I don't know if they still have the tuna auctions open to the public, but you can still just walk around and there's tons of vendors selling any type of seafood you want.
It's almost like the seafood version of Reading Market
Where is Reading Market?
in Philly.
I've heard about that place. I've never been.
Yeah, because they have a bunch of food in that market too. Yeah, Reading Market's fucking awesome. Especially if you're a big fan of Amish people cooking you apple pie. Which I am.
Japanese steak, though, you brought it up. That's my favorite way to eat steak. They have these restaurants where they serve thinly sliced wagyu and you cook it for yourself on this little stove. It's kind of like a charcoal stove that's right in front of you. I enjoy that so much more than going to a steakhouse and getting like a huge T-bone or a porterhouse. Just like because each piece is just like perfect.
Yeah, I'd rather do by myself. I'd rather have a big like ribeye or New York strip. With a group, I'd rather do it that way because I feel like it's more conversational. Like I enjoy having small plates amongst friends more so than like if I go out with buddies, and like spouses and stuff, it's almost always small plates so everybody can share.
Tapas style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. And I think the Japanese didn't really eat beef until after World War II when they saw all of the Americans eating it. Or not necessarily World War II, but after beef wasn't like a huge part of their culture until they got exposed to the Western world. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, I think we can do beef better than you guys. And that's why there's rumors that they like massage their cows.
Oh, that's not a rumor.
Okay, that's okay.
That's real.
Yeah, so they feed the cows a very strict diet. They give them daily massages, and that's what results in like how well marbled the meat is.
Yeah, and they also kind of treat them in a little bit like a kind of way like veal, essentially. Like that's how the Wagyu gets so marbled is they don't move a lot. They get fed a shit ton, and then they basically stay in place. Like they don't move at all. There was one right by that they farmed those kind of cows where I used to work, like on the property of the base. They had a big stable that they would keep them in, or pen, whatever the fuck they call it.
Veal is very good as well, but think if like there was a alien species out there that only ate baby humans because they were like, adult humans too tough. We're just going to harvest like 5-year-olds. We're going to go out and capture a bunch of 5-year-olds and only eat them.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up.
It is.
But no one's eating mutton. Some people are, but I mean, who eats mutton in the U.S.? We pretty much only eat lamb.
Yeah, I don't have... Is mutton baby lamb?
No, mutton is adult sheep.
Oh, we just eat what?
Yeah, so lamb is baby sheep.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, that's actually what I meant when I brought up veal. I meant lamb. So like, yeah, lamb is only, what's the age of an average lamb? And then mutton is adult sheep, and it's like, Americans don't eat mutton. What's the age of an average lamb?
6 months.
Dude,
they're not even done breastfeeding.
An average lamb is slaughtered at 6 to 8 months. That's the exact age of my baby right now.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That'd be like, dude, having a baby, like if someone came to just pick up my baby and it's like, all right, well, the meat's only going to get worse from here on out, so we got to slaughter them.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But lamb, I think I'm going to have lamb tonight. It's one of my favorite meats. But
okay, so you're not dialing it back. I do like lamb. A rack of lamb is very good, but now when you think about eating the ribs of a baby, don't like that.
No.
Or like the lollipops, the lamb lollipops.
Oh, lamb lollipops are incredible.
They are.
Dip them in a little mint jelly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 6-month-old.
I wonder if you fed... what if you fed babies, if you weaned them and then immediately started just giving them quince paste and fucking mint, what it would taste like?
Wait, if you fed a baby lamb itself?
No, just the mint jelly that you could put on it.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if it would marinate from the inside.
Oh, so if the meat would be infused with that?
Yeah.
It works with bears. Apparently, I've heard that bears that eat a lot of blueberries, their meat has a bluish tint, and it's got kind of like the sweetness of blueberries in the meat.
And pineapple with semen.
Yeah, I would not know from experience.
Same.
Yeah.
I've heard, though.
I think we should touch on just Japanese cafe culture, right?
Okay.
Especially in Tokyo, because they have the weirdest cafes of all time. You can go to an owl cafe, which I went to. They also have otter cafes. And those cafes
obviously.
are just, cat cafes, but it's just a place where you can get a coffee, but there's a bunch of owls all over the place.
Did you say otters?
Yeah, they have an otter cafe.
Damn, I missed out.
Yeah.
I love otters.
Otters are vicious, man. They
are vicious, but they're smart as hell. Like using rocks to crack open clams.
Yeah, but I think they
look at that thing, so cute.
They're a little problematic. I think they will like if they see a female otter that has kids of her own, they'll go and kill the kids because that will force that female to start ovulating again, and then they can rip it. So yeah,
Good God.
yeah.
That was tough terminology.
Well, I mean, if you search otter rape, it's like
Why would you do that?
otters are not cute. They are sick, depraved jerks.
Oh, man. A wolves in sheep clothing.
Whoa, they try to drown females?
I don't like that.
It's also not unheard of for the males to force themselves onto pups who have not yet reached sexual maturity.
Man, otters are fucking
Do you still love
deviants.
otters?
No, I disavow otters.
They're regularly seen holding females' heads underwater, biting their faces, and forcing them into submission.
Jeez, they're like the puff daddy of the rodent kingdom.
Jeez. All right, so yeah, maybe don't go to an otter cafe. They do have maid cafes where it's just a bunch of Japanese chicks dressed up like maids. And the craziest thing I've heard of, and I tried to find one, I couldn't, are cuddle cafes.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like, it's hard for Japanese men to find wives these days because there's so much pressure on them. They feel like if they don't have a job, their own apartment, their own car, they feel unworthy of finding a wife. They kind of need to check all of those boxes before they feel like they can even go on a date. But they still want intimate connections with females. So they'll have these cuddle cafes where you can pay, and depending on the price, you can just lay in the same bed as them and just look into their eyes. If you pay more, maybe you can hug them.
I think that's even creepier than just being a straight up sex worker. Having some horny cuddler just gazing upon you, I feel like that's worse.
I don't know.
I feel like that's terrible.
I mean, I'm sure it helps these guys.
But they don't just, there's also ones that you don't have physical touch at all.
Yeah.
Like where you just,
Yeah,
can
you're just
go
staring
in and
and-
talk.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
they have some, and it used to just be Japanese men and women that were at the cuddle cafes. The cuddle cafe workers was primarily women. Now there's also the inverse, where because of the Japanese lonely epidemic, there's also women who are crazy lonely as well because the men aren't in relationships with them. So they'll go to the inverse and they will just sit and have it's essentially a date where they go in and they'll talk about their days and then they'll leave.
Yeah. So it's just, I mean, I'm sure there are people in the U.S. that would pay for a date that does not involve any sort of like sex or kissing. Like some people just I just want to have like a nice evening with a woman.
There's professional cuddlers in America. I follow one on TikTok.
Boom. It's made its way here.
Yeah.
And did you ever experience the Japanese idol culture while you were out there?
What do you mean?
So Japanese idols, it's these girl bands, usually groups of young girls that have all these pop songs, and they're wildly popular. But you know, a girl group in the U.S. you would assume would be really popular with kids ages like 9 to 15. These Japanese idol groups are huge with middle-aged Japanese men. And I learned about them. I was walking through Osaka. All of a sudden, I saw this live dance performance. I was like, oh, this is cool. I went over to watch. All of a sudden, a huge crowd of 40-year-old men showed up, and they knew all the lyrics, all the dance moves, and they were just like dancing. And I filmed a video about this. I was like, I want to investigate further. So then I went to one of these idol clubs, and yeah, it was me and just a bunch of 35 to 50-year-old men in the crowd dancing, singing along to these girls. And the girls are probably age range, I don't know, 19 to 22, and they are super fans. Like,
Yeah.
they all stay after the show, and you pay a set price. You can take a photo with them. They're all selling their own merch. And like when I say every word, these men know every single word to their songs. And it's also for the same reasons that we talked about before. They're just craving a connection with someone. And in their own lives, they maybe don't have time to find a girlfriend, or they feel like they're not worthy of finding a wife yet. Mm-hmm. So they just obsess over these girl groups, and it's kind of like their imaginary girlfriends.
And you might be thinking that's kind of like what we would call groupies here.
Yeah.
But they call it actually the otter den in Japan.
Oh, yeah?
No.
The otter den, it's not that dark. If it was the otter den, that would be
Yeah,
very
that'd be
dark.
crazy fucked up. Yeah.
As far as I saw, the men are always very like respectful to them. But
Yeah.
if you're a girl in one of these idol groups, you're not allowed to have a boyfriend. Or if you have a boyfriend, you can't ever be seen in public with them because they need to keep up the illusion that they're all single girls so that they can be all these 50-year-olds' imaginary girlfriends.
Yeah, that's kind of what Backstreet Boys used to do back in the day.
Yes, but that was for like the Backstreet Boys when they blew up. They were probably in their they were probably 25 or something. And that was so a bunch of 13, 14-year-old girls, they could be their imaginary boyfriends.
Right.
This is the opposite way around, where it's a bunch of 19-year-olds and then these 45-year-olds, it's their imaginary girlfriends.
Yeah. The inverse.
Yeah. And I did film a video on that too. I think it's just called Donnie Does Japanese Idols. I had to, and yeah. Why do middle-aged Japanese men fangirl over teenage pop stars? So that's what my YouTube video is called. I explained all the culture in the video, so feel free to check that out. Other weird cafes. I forgot that my first time in Japan was actually just I had a 16-hour layover in Tokyo, so I could only do one thing, and I went to a place called the Robot Restaurant, which is an insane experience. It's this, I don't even know if we had a meal, but it's definitely called Robot Restaurant. It's a bunch of like robots that put on a crazy show for you. They kind of look like real life Transformers, and you just sit and you watch all types of robots do crazy stuff. Had you ever heard of that?
The robots? Yeah. They're basically anytime you go to a Japanese mall, which I highly recommend going to Japanese malls and walk around, you're going to see some insane shit. Stuff
Yeah.
that, like the culture of the shopping that they do there is wild. Like, I don't know which other way to describe it. There's just a lot of horny Japanese dudes everywhere.
That is true, but I don't think you would like see it publicly. You're not going to have what?
Yeah. Like the magazine racks at like a Lawson's or something like that. You got all kinds of people thumbling and fumbling.
That is true, and I did go to a jerk-off cafe there too.
Yeah,
so-
and like upstairs at bookstores, it's nothing but like erotica.
Yeah.
They blur out vaginas for some reason, but they are really
pixelated.
good at drawing stuff.
Yeah. Well,
They're
yeah,
like
you were
the
saying that. I
Picasso
was like,
of
that. I don't
pussy.
know if that's true. And I was like, that's 100% true. Because like after the robot show was done, it was maybe midnight or something, and my flight wasn't until 6 a.m. So I had all this time to kill, and I didn't want to get a full-on hotel. I should have got a capsule hotel, which we'll talk about, but instead I got a room in these jerk-off cafes where it's just a room with a computer and a bunch of porno mags, and I took a nap in there.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't want to share a communal porn computer.
Yeah, that was not a place I should have taken a nap.
No.
That was not a clean room.
Rain and cum everywhere in
Yeah.
that building. No.
Well,
thanks.
the Japanese people are very clean, so I'm sure they clean the room after every use.
Yeah. One of the big chains is like Bob Kraft would probably love going to Japan. Like it's called Man U Time.
Man U? Is it related to the soccer team?
Nope, Man U Time. So it's like essentially a huge company that does nothing but happy endings. It's like a happy ending place where they do like soap baths.
Soapies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had friends who loved those in China.
Quote friends.
No, I never went for a soapy in China, but they were all the rage amongst a few people out there, though. I went to a jack-off cafe. I should have gone to a capsule hotel. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
I love them. I wish I think they do have one in the U.S. somewhere, but I wish they were more commonplace. There are times that you're traveling and you're like, I'm going to be in my hotel like 0 hours. I
Yeah.
literally just need a place to rest my head so I don't sleep on the streets, but I'm just going in for the night at like midnight and I have to leave at 6 a.m. And that's where capsule hotels come in handy.
Yeah.
Because it's just this little like cube, and some of them are large enough where you can sit up fully in it, and they've got a charger, outlets, lamps. They'll have like a built-in alarm clock. Some of them will have a TV screen, either like on the ceiling or to the side, and they're super cheap, super comfortable. And I don't know, I wish that was like a budget option for when you're only in a city very briefly and don't want to, because in the US, if you want a hotel and not to be sleeping with cockroaches, like you're paying, I think at least $150 or something.
Yeah, now, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, when I was in Manhattan, I tried to sleep on Feidelberg's couch one night because I was quickly in New York and then I was leaving. He was like, "Yeah, you can crash on my couch." Forgot to tell me that he did not have AC, and it was like the hottest day of the year. So I tried to sleep and was just sweating seeds. He had a street light. There wasn't a shade on his window, and the street light was just shining directly into my eyes. So at midnight, I gave up, and the cheapest place in all of Manhattan was $200, and that had a communal bathroom. I didn't even have my own toilet.
Yeah, that's rough. Finding a cheap place in Manhattan is like my first time going there. I stayed at the Holland Inn, which was right across the street from the Holland Tunnel.
Okay.
They had a continental breakfast, but it was like 4-day-old jelly donuts. So the jelly even started to get a little hard.
Congealed.
Yeah, it was like a donut with a gusher on the inside.
Jesus. Yeah, and that place was not cheap, I assume.
No, and
Yeah.
Big Cat actually came and picked me up from it because we were going to a Jets game. And he was like, "What are you doing, dude? Why are you staying here? Go get your stuff. You're going to stay with me." So I stayed at his house.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I think the one last thing I wanted to talk about, and like this will not be the only Japanese episode we do because we'll probably have guests on in the future that want to talk Japan, and we got to do an Okinawa episode. The Deer of Nara, Japan, were incredible. Have you heard about this place?
Aren't those little tiny deer?
They range in sizes. They're not the like deer that's like
Oh, those
tiny.
are the Key West deer.
Yeah, you might be
super
thinking of the Key West deer.
Yeah.
So this was a city called Nara where historically in ancient times, deer were seen as I think I jotted this down. In Shinto, Japan's indigenous religion, deer are considered messengers of the gods. And according to legend, when the deity Mikoto, god of thunder and swords, arrived in Nara to protect the newly established capital in the 8th century, he rode on the back of a white deer. Because of this, deer in Nara were seen as sacred and protected as divine animals. So for hundreds of years, it was actually a capital punishment to harm these deer.
Capital, wow.
A capital punishment. Yeah, for centuries, killing a deer was punishable by death. So these deer are...
Sidney Wells would have a rough time.
Yeah, a rough time there. So these deers are so comfortable with humans. They're just everywhere, like when you're walking around this town. And they're smart, too. They're like every time you're waiting at a crosswalk with like 6 deer. And then once the light changes, you're just walking across the road with them. They like know to wait for cars. They know to bow. Like
What?
Yes. I swear to God.
They're like, "Sumimasen, arigatou."
Yeah, I was expecting them to start talking, but every time I would walk up to them, they would just do a little bow.
Hai, doujou gozaimashita.
Yeah, and I filmed a video on this, so you'll be able to see some clips, but I think it's definitely worth a stop there just to,
It's like a city-wide petting zoo.
Yeah. It's kind of like how many pigeons you see in New York is how many deer you'll see in Nara, Japan.
That can't be right.
Dude, it's got to be. I mean, I'm not saying there are more deer than there are pigeons in New York. There's definitely more pigeons, but it's as common to be seeing a deer as it is seeing a pigeon there.
I wonder if they have like the Home Alone 2 version of the bird lady with deer.
I think they did hand out things that you could feed them, I believe.
They all look adorable too.
Yeah, I think you're probably told not to pet him. I don't remember petting him, but...
They almost look like deer antelope hybrids with all their little spots.
Mm-hmm. That was one of the wildlife highlights of my time in Japan. The other one was the snow monkeys of Nagano. These monkeys, I think they're just called snow monkeys?
Yeah, I think they are too. They look like whenever they're in the hot springs, they should be ripping heaters.
They're macaques. a Japanese macaque, but also known as a snow monkey. I think they're the only species other than humans known for taking hot baths. So they congregate around all these hot springs, and they just
So sick.
yeah, they take daily baths.
There's one with a cell phone.
Oh, because they will grab your cell phone.
Oh, can you do cigarette? Just put in the search bar Japanese snow monkey cigarette. I wonder if any of them smoke. I bet they do.
They definitely drink. So when I was there, my friend, he posted all these photos of him swimming with them. But I showed up and it was like, when I showed up, it was this protected park. I was like, I am 100% not allowed to swim with these monkeys. So I called him up and he was like, you got to find this onsen. Onsen just means Japanese bathhouse, like sauna. He was like, you got to find one that is nearby the park because the monkeys always sneak into that place and they'll come find you if you're chilling in the bath. So I found the spot and I went to this outdoor little hot tub they had. And sure enough, as soon as I got in, like 6 monkeys came through and I was just chilling with them. One of them took my beer though.
Yeah, you got to be careful with those fuckers. They will rip your face off too.
I know chimpanzees will. Those guys weren't going to rip my face off.
Oh, you got lucky.
I mean, they are scary. Like
They're just so, every monkey's so strong.
yeah, they are. Like once it took my beer, I did not try to like grab it back. I was like, sure, you can have it.
The ultimate no take backsies.
Like search Donnie does snow monkeys.
I'd love to have a monkey, but we just don't have time for it.
I mean, haven't you seen that documentary called Chimp Crazy? Yeah, that was me filming with a cell phone. He's that close.
So he's just checking it out, smelling it a little bit, and yeah.
Yeah, but they're that close to you.
Yep. They look cool.
Very cool. But if you ever have a chance to go to Japan, it lives up to the hype, I'd say.
Was that a good hippo mode spot?
That spot, it was. I think the fact, because I saw some monkeys swimming in that same place. I mean, that can't be sanitary.
No, they're ripping pisses in there.
Yeah, like monkeys, they carry a lot of diseases, right?
Yeah.
But no, it was. I think it definitely cracks my top 10 hippo mode spots just because when do you get to go hippo mode with snow monkeys?
You got to.
But we should talk Japan in the future. I'm excited to hear about your experiences in Okinawa, and I'm sure we'll have like more guests on in the future that have
Definitely. There's so much to talk about in Japan. And one of those things that we're going to talk about, we're going to do it right now with some sumo wrestlers. And you're going to hear from one of the more famous sumo wrestlers of all time. You ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Today's episode of Drop a Pin is brought to you by our friends at Blue Chew. Guys, enter the room dick first. Blue Chew isn't just a tablet, it is a cheat code for your crotch. We're talking stronger, harder, longer lasting, like someone gave your downstairs a pep talk and a gym membership. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. This ain't a supplement, it is an erection resurrection. Guys, this isn't just about performance, this is about legacy or third legacy. Give a group chat something to talk about. You know, when you lay it down, they're talking about how it gets up. Nothing makes you more of a legend than a little Blue Chew. Discover your options at bluechew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use the promo code DROP at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to bluechew.com for details and safety info. And big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast.
Hey, how are you? Welcome back to Drop a Pin. Today we have, I think, at least physically, our biggest guest yet.
Yeah,
But,
beef, we like a word.
Oh, true. We have Konishiki, who was the first foreign-born sumo wrestler to reach
Champion. ōzeki. It's a rank we call in Japanese. The first fighter to become a champion, which is about 30-something years ago. I've been in Japan for 44 years.
But you were born and raised in Hawaii.
Born and raised in Hawaii.
And what prompted you to move to Japan and try to enter the world of sumo wrestling?
1982, I graduated from high school. By accident, I was actually approached by a guy who used to travel to Japan as a professional wrestler. Well-known guy. Somebody like, you would know somebody like The Rock at those days. His name was King Yokea. He was a big-time wrestler. So he traveled to Japan. He saw me at the beach. I was cutting out of class, so he kind of stopped me and said, "Hey, boy, are you number 79 on the football team of Pac-5?" Because that's the team I played for in high school. "Are you number 79? I said, "Yeah. I think you have an opportunity. You should go to sumo." I said, "Sorry, I'll go. I don't know what sumo is. I never did it before, so nah." Then I kept on going to the beach, and that's when he kind of explained to me, "Well, this is what sumo is." Then finally, by 2 weeks, I was like already planning to go to Japan. So less than a month after graduation, I left in 1982 in June, and just went because I didn't know anything about it anyway.
Yeah.
Had you ever even been to Japan before?
Never. Never been to Japan. Didn't know the difference between a Chinese and a Japanese. I thought Bruce Lee was Japanese. And by the time I left, I had no knowledge of it. So I just took it because I come from a big family. You guys are sporting media, so you guys know Samoan families.
Yeah.
And all Samoans are big families. If you ask a lot of these guys playing in the NFL, ask how many kids in the family. I had 10 in mine. And I was the youngest boy, so by the time I graduated in 1982, I decided if this is something that takes me away with not costing my family anything, I'm taking it. I told the guy, as long as I don't need any money, you pay for it, then I'm good. And then when they said he was free to go and I didn't need any money, I left. I had a shoulder bag, I had my Bible, I had my picture album, and I left.
Wow.
So that's 44 years ago.
And you didn't speak any Japanese?
No Japanese, no knowledge about Japanese culture. Zero. Never seen sumo before.
And now you're fluent.
Well, I've been there 44 years. My career lasted for 16 years. I was a champion for 7 years.
I mean, I would have to assume you're one of the better well-known foreigners out there. Would you say?
Well, I was the one that I kind of break the ice. And after me being the rank I was, there was two other boys that came from Hawaii that made grand champion. Kid named that he went to WE after his career a little. Akebono and Musashi Mao, they're both from Hawaii.
All right.
So after the Hawaii boys actually break the ice for foreigners to game, you had the Mongolians come in. And then you have guys from Europe too. You have a couple of Russians. We have a Russian kid on this tour with us. So he was in sumo since he was 15, and he was number 1 in the top ranks too. So
now, from what I've heard, sumo wrestlers live a very strict, disciplined life. Was that a hard change of pace when you first arrived there and started the training?
The training itself, if you're an athlete, you probably can handle it if you have, if you have the balls to hang in there.
Yeah,
you know. But the life itself, this majority of guys will never handle. You have to be at bed at 10. You're not allowed to even open eye after 10. You up during my time, up 4:30 every day, training to like 11:30, 12 o'clock. Not allowed to swallow water or to eat anything before no breakfasts. So, and every place you go, you actually walk with knowing that you represent something bigger than you, which is sumo. And no matter where you go, you have to show super respect. You have to be the best man, the best person out there walking. So if you're my friend and we went to a bar and you got in trouble and I was trying to help you, people saw me at the bar with you, trying to stop you, and I was part of that, whatever, they'll kick you out. They don't care.
Yeah, that was really interesting. When we were talking earlier, you were saying that it doesn't matter. You could be the Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan of sumo, but the moment that you make a mistake or you disrespect your teachers, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. It is because there's nothing about marketing about sumo wrestlers, and there's no branding because you can't do anything outside of sumo anyway. Even as popular I was, you're not allowed to do commercials, make extra money. You're not allowed to get sponsored by somebody to give you free shoes. You're not allowed to have any of that because we represent sumo as a culture that represents the country, not sumo. It's mostly about you representing what Japan is all about, which is the culture, from the way we carry ourselves in public, the hair we wear, the clothes we wear, the slippers we wear, everything about it. So they don't care how good you are.
Now, is there like a papasan or anything like that that looks after the guys and like before they're leaving, like make sure that they are looking in a way that is respectful and they're checking them out every day?
Well, into the stables, of course, you're going to be disciplined in the stable. They don't have to check. If anybody reports it, if it is true or not, they'll kick you out, even though you cannot fight it in court or anything. So the best thing I've learned is just stay away. Just don't go out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Period. It make it easy on yourself. Yeah, I won't lose all the work I've put into to even be that 10% to screw up just because I want to go and have fun. Not everybody has an opportunity to be in that area. So that's why sumo is so different to many of the Western sport I see and I know, because I have a lot of friends in the NFL. I have friends in a professional sport. So I just tell them the difference is it's so disciplined. You're representing sumo than yourself more.
Yeah. So sumo wrestling is not a sport you go into for the fame or the money, the accolades. You go into it for the level of respect you gain because you're representing Japan as a whole.
It's huge. Money cannot buy what you get when you become a sumo wrestler. I'm 62 now. I've been retired 28 years. And the way I'm respected, like last year, I was invited by the Prime Minister to go and help and speak on behalf of Japan last year in New York. So there's no way I would ever have that if I wasn't a sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm a foreigner. I did a kids program that it's nationwide in Japan for 20 years. And it was the #1 children's educational program for 20 years. Wow. I wouldn't even have that because NHK is Japan's biggest broadcasting system. Not everybody can be on TV.
Yeah.
But again, because of my background, if you look at where I come from, is with sumo and being that person that actually break a lot of walls and overcoming what I'm used to do in my culture, the American culture in Hawaii, and breaking myself in understanding and respecting the cultures that I went through sumo. I get paid differently, not by money, but the respect I get.
Yeah.
You can be a billionaire no matter, but there's places that you won't be allowed. I was invited to funerals of emperors now. They don't care if you're Otani. They don't care if you Michael Jordan. They don't get invited like how sumo wrestlers. And the emperors now.
You got invited to meet the emperor?
Every year the emperor comes because we have a special sumo day just for the emperor. But I'm talking about funerals where not everybody, even the most richest people in Japan, don't get invited to be part of those funerals.
Oh, wow.
So what I'm saying is money cannot buy things that I went through because I was a sumo wrestler.
Whoa. So you were at the funeral of the Japanese emperor?
2 different emperors because that's how long I've been there.
Wow.
So it's bigger than what you think. So that's become sumo. The biggest cup when you win a tournament, you win the Emperor's Cup. And that's probably the only cup I know that it represents Japan and the emperor itself. So sumo is actually treated really different. And that's why I say money cannot buy the respect that we get as sumo wrestlers, even after our careers.
Now, if you're growing up in Japan, do you choose to be a sumo wrestler or do you get selected? Like, hey, that's a large boy. He could be a good sumo wrestler someday. We're going to put him in the stables and start training him?
During my time, 44 years ago, a lot of them, like football, like my Polynesian brothers, you see now a lot of playing football. It's an outlet for them to get out of poverty, an outlet for them getting out of the countryside to join sumo those days. So it's an honor for any family to see their kids go. But at the same time, those kids, if they commit to sumo, it's like you never can come back until you make it now. And that's a pressure thing that a lot of kids get. And the thing happens is now, not everybody's going to make it, period. Honestly, 99% ain't going to make it. So what happened is because you're representing your village or wherever you're coming from, the whole village see you go. So it's like, it's a shame to your country or to your families or to your villages. So the kids, they don't quit, they run away. And they never go home. They go run where they won't be fined for a while because they kind of embarrass their family by quitting.
And shame is such a huge part of the culture.
It's huge.
Too.
Sumo is like if you're committing yourself, you gotta actually committing your whole life, because there's nothing about sumo that anybody can actually come between you and your stable.
Let's talk about day to day, like with how much it is you're focused on just sumo for the guys, like outside, and for yourself. When you get there, you're 15 years old. You're not going to high school anymore. What is your day-to-day life like?
Well, every day, mostly, the whole year, we have 6 major tournaments. So preparing yourself for a sumo tournament is mostly your life. So if you're a youngster that coming into sumo, the first thing you learn is you have to be apprentices to your the senior guys. Meaning you got to clean up after them, you got to cook after them, you got to be the first to train before the elders. So everything is by rank. So the lower you are, the first to get up in the morning, clean up all your senior guys' futongs and make sure that's cleaned up. And you go and train the first hour and a half. And then when the other ranks come in, they slowly go up and start cleaning the stable, start cooking what the high ranks are training and stuff. And then it goes the other way. They goes to shower room. All the high ranks start first. They eat first. Everything is by rank in sumo. So as a sumo, early in the morning is all training. No meals a day, just 2 meals a day, so no breakfast. Your first meal of the day is probably as early as 11:30 to 12 o'clock. And all the meals are made by sumo wrestlers. We don't have any trainers. We don't have any cooks. We don't have any physical therapist guy who actually there. They all help each other in the sumo stable. That's why I always joke, if nowadays you have a lot of ladies who want to work, they want to have careers, just marry a sumo guy because he can do everything but making a baby.
Yeah.
They can do everything. They can clean, cook, and everything. And they're good at it because they learned that in their careers.
That's really remarkable that they only eat twice a day with as big as they are.
But I would assume the 2 times they eat, though, they're taking in a lot of calories.
Well, the thing is, the reason why they gain the weight, you got to remember, every time you go to lunch, you go to work after that. Sumo, right after lunch, because you're tired, you're hungry, of course, you're going to eat a lot. And then you're tired, you have to go to sleep. They put you to sleep. You have to go to sleep. You got to sleep at least 4 hours. And that's how you keep your weight on, because you're not digesting it.
In the middle of the day, 4 hours?
In the middle of the day, you have to go to sleep, because normally you're going to be sleepy. 4:30 in the morning, I'm up 4:30 in the morning every day.
Yeah.
So naturally, your body actually changes to that timeline. And you get so used to it. After retirement, the hardest thing to do is learn how to eat breakfast, because you're not used to eating breakfast. But that's how you gain your weight, because you're eating 2 big meals instead of spreading out your meals to 3 to 4 meals.
There's a very famous type of stew that all sumo wrestlers eat. What's that called, and what actually goes into that?
Actually, it's very healthy. It's called chanko nabe. And chanko nabe is just a pot of stew where the base soup can be miso, the miso soup, or the base can be kimchi, can be shoyu, can be salt, and then actually there's a lot of protein. It's either pork, beef, or fish. And then a lot of it's very healthy. I remember when Bo Jackson and all those guys came down when I was younger, when they came from they were all-stars in college. They saw the food and said, how the hell you get big? Because it's very healthy, in fact. It's just the amount of food they eat and the timing that they eat, I guess. Because naturally, if you do the same thing as sumo wrestlers, you probably get big too.
Yeah, just work out, eat, sleep, and then you do it all over again.
All over again. So that's how the weight gain is. But everything, they eat pretty healthy. They don't eat any oily stuff. If you watch what they eat, they actually eat the nabe. They call it chanko nabe. If you Google it, it's going to pop out. A lot of vegetables and a lot of meat and stuff. So, and then I guess a lot of rice too. They have good rice.
Yep. Are sumo wrestlers allowed to have families while they're training, or can they really only start a family after they retire?
You can't afford a family. That's one thing, because, like I said, only the top 60 are getting paid.
Wow.
And everybody's living in the stables, what they call schools, the clubs and stuff. Your whole life is in the club. So by the time a lot of them don't make it, so majority of them actually start a family after they leave. Yeah, but the ones that make it, I got married when I was in sumo, because I made ōzeki, so I held my position for 14 years, so I could afford to have a wife.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure if you make it in sumo wrestling, are girls just lining up for you?
Yeah, they call it groupies. Yeah, same thing.
Groupies. Yeah. All right.
A lot of girls, they follow guys. Everyone wants to get married to a sumo wrestler. A majority of these guys that get married, they get people that own companies. It's a thing where if you get married to a sumo wrestler, it brings good luck to your company. And sumos are walking good luck charms. And in Japan, it's like if you walk into somewhere, you just touch them, it gives you good luck. On our tours, we have this families with firstborn babies. They bring their babies to the tours. And what we do is we take the babies on the ring and we make sure the kids, they touch their feet on the ring to bring their healthy babies. So sumo wrestling plays a huge part in the culture itself, Japan, the culture itself. So
yeah.
How did that become a part of the culture there? How long has it been around, sumo?
It's been there over what, since the 1400s, brother. And what you guys have now, the UFC, the MMA, that's sumo.
Yeah.
But it's just a different art. Sumo, the only thing you cannot go on your back. You lose the match. It's harder to stay on your feet because anything but the bottom of your feet touches the floor, you lose the match. So think about it. UFC, you can go ground, and you still have to fight to win. But sumo, once your feet touch, even your toe rolls over, you lose the match. Sumo, people have the wrong stereotype. You think it's all about big people. Sumo doesn't have a weight class. It's the only full contact sport in the world that doesn't have a weight class. Why is that? Because it's all the different martial arts all bundled in one. That's what sumo is all about. They're the mother they summarize. This acts of sumo actually started in the mountains. They call it Yamabushi. Yamabushi is like gods that lived in a mountain. They're training cold. They're training in like -0. And that's how they train their bodies to do judo, aikido, jiu-jitsu, karate. All these things was trained. And that's all the stuff they had to learn to protect the gods. So actually, that's where the sumo background comes from. They call it Yamabushi. These guys are... And one time when the emperor was getting stopped, they actually took him away because those guys was protecting the emperor. So that's why sumo, you don't see it. It's just now because of the internet, you guys see it now. But sumo is not for the big person all the time. Some of the great grand champions are some smaller guys. You'll be surprised. One of the guys that I call the GOAT is this guy called Shono Fuji. We call him the Wolf. He's about 280, but if you look at his body, you look it up later, just Google it, Shono Fuji. You're going to see he looks like a huge freaking linebacker. It's all solid muscles. Okay. And he wasn't big compared to us.
Yeah.
You're looking at 500, 600 pounders that going against guys like 250, 270, which is small in sumo.
Yeah, it's small.
How light they are on their feet at that 400, 500 pounds is crazy.
Yeah.
You're going to find out how agile these guys are. And for me, when I went, I was really surprised because they rip you apart to become flexible. They rip your inner muscles to do the splits and everything. There's nobody in sumo that cannot do the splits, no matter how tight you are.
So you were able to make the transition from playing football to sumo wrestling. Do you think in the future we will ever see some sumo wrestlers make the transition to playing offensive line?
Well, we have a guy who actually in our tour right now, he's a Russian kid. He went to sumo when he was 15. And he was a wrestler. He's supposed to be on the Olympic team to go wrestling in one of the Olympics. He joined sumo. He became #1 in all the ranks.
Wow.
In sumo. After getting out of sumo, he was on a practice team, an NFL team.
Oh, wow.
Because he didn't understand the playbook. He went to college for 4 years. He came back and he played NFL for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So it's already done. You guys don't know, but he played NFL. He's on a tour right now.
Oh, okay.
He's a Russian kid.
Wow.
That went to sumo.
Yeah.
And I think sumo exercise is the best thing for any lineman or anybody in sports. It doesn't have to be a lineman. Like I said, we don't have a weight class.
Yeah.
The exercises we do actually prepare your body for any kind of sport. MMA, you look at UFC, now they try not to even use weight to build their bodies, right?
Yeah.
It's all about body balance.
Yep.
That's what sumo is. We don't use weights.
Okay.
It's all about the exercises we do, the stretches and everything.
Yep. It's
about the core. It builds your core. Below all the layers of fat is all muscle.
Yeah.
And you need it because your body's always hitting all the time. So.
Yeah, I'm sure squats have to be very important.
Everything. Yeah. Later on, we're going to have the boys here. They're here in the studio somewhere eating your ice cream or something. But they're going to demonstrate you to something that you're going to see that's...
Yeah, I don't know if I'll face off against them, but I kind of want to warm up with them because my core needs a workout.
Mine does not.
So it's actually good for everybody. To be honest with you, though, if you go to Japan and if you walk the neighborhoods at 6 o'clock, 6:30, you have people who are 70, 80, 90 years old doing that in the mornings. It's a tradition in Japan this way. They have these radios actually hidden in the walls at the parks, the neighborhood parks. And everybody goes there like 6 o'clock, and they call it radio taiso. It's been radio exercise. It's been done before the war, and it's tradition. They still have it till today. You go and watch this old ladies, old men. They walk to the park and do this exercise every single morning.
Oh yeah, no.
And like construction workers, before they'll start their shift, they have
do that
big stretching,
they're doing that in Japan.
All that, yeah.
It's all in the neighborhoods because I live in the neighborhood, and there's like 3, 4. You walk and you see all this. ladies, there's men who like in their 80s, 70s, 90s, and they're all like doing those exercises. Those exercises are really good for your body, you know.
Yeah. I lived in Okinawa for 4.5
Then
years.
you would understand that. Right?
Yeah, and it was all the cultural things. And I live there because I'm a Marine, and one of the things that made the Marines different, I think, than the other branches of service is how much we focus on our history when we're doing training. Like, we bring up different heroes from past time. Is that what you all do to instill, like, some of the honor of sumo? Like, you go over the history, you go over past champions and the honor that's involved in sumo?
Actually, when you join sumo, your first 6 months, you go to school. And you learn the history of sumo. You learn the history of the language of sumo, because sumo itself has a different language, dialect. We speak a different language. Not every Japanese would understand our dialect.
Wow.
So that's how deep sumo is. We actually learn the history of sumo. We learn how to sumo writing with the kanjis and stuff.
Yeah.
We learn with the brush, which you call the fude. All those things are taught within the 6 months, not only mentally but physically. That's where you learn all the exercises. That's where you go and you start doing these squats for hours and hours. You're doing like over 1,000 squats a day, every single day but Sunday.
Yeah.
So the first 6 months of your career is all about going and learning about the culture, the exercises, and the physical part and the mental part of sumo.
Kind of like how hockey players have their own lingo. I guess sumo wrestlers have their own.
I don't know if it's like that at all.
Yeah.
I think it's just a mental. I think
it's the same thing.
Like every other sport.
They got some weird terms in hockey locker rooms.
Like every sport, I think mentally, sumo itself, it's just a different level of mental strength, you know, because any 15-year-old, when you get to 20, you know, you want to go out, hang out with the girls,
Yeah.
get some booty, you know. But sumo takes that all away. So again, you actually taking away what a normal person can do at 20, and it's really up to you if you're committed or not. You can tell who's not committed; you get kicked out right away. And that's the hard thing about it, especially if you make it as a sumo wrestler. A lot of guys in sumo who made it to the top wasted their career because they did a little wrong. That they won't second thought you're wrong, bro. Once you do wrong, you're wrong, period. There's no second chance, third chance, no lawyers involved, no court cases, out.
I mean, are you allowed to drink at all when you're...
Oh, yeah, of course you can drink, but make sure you drink with be a gentleman when you go to drink. You don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, we drink, we have fun, you know, but like again, don't risk your career because you want to be stupid and got in trouble. That's the only thing about sumo. Like I said, if you're an athlete, you can handle the training. But it's the problem is can you handle the life? Because you represent sumo, period.
Yeah.
You don't represent yourself, you represent sumo.
When you showed, how was talking your parents into it, being a 15-year-old guy in Hawaii and having to essentially, it's almost like going to a monastery.
Well, they didn't know. I didn't know. So I couldn't explain. When I actually told my parents a week before I left. They didn't know. I just went and did it myself. And then when they told me I could go, I went and got my passport. I went and got my visa. A week before I left, I told my mom I'm going to Japan. She looks at my mom is Samoan. She don't speak English. So she said, "Where the hell are you going?" She has a bad mouth. So I told her I'm going to Japan. You guys allowed to swear on your...
Yeah.
And she said, "What the fuck?" You know, someone mothers did a worse.
Yeah.
Where the fuck you think you're going? Where the hell is fucking Japan? I have no idea, Mom. What the hell you gonna be doing in Japan? Gonna do sumo? What the fuck is sumo? I don't know. I never did sumo before. So my parents actually, the day I talked to my parents, they never talked to me till the day I left. My mom's last words to me within that week was, "Don't go." And I just left. My dad didn't talk to me until I was driving. I still remember clearly in my head. God bless them in heaven. But he's in the car just crying. They thought I was going to be a preacher. Because I went to this Bible school for 7 years. I took first place in Bible studies for 7 years.
Oh, wow.
And my dad told me, I thought you was going to be a preacher. I told Dad, the only reason I went to Bible school and Sunday school is because you beat the shit out of us anyway. And, you know, we're into NFL football, you know.
Yeah.
We actually sit in front of TV and we live not too far from the church. So we know exactly when the bell rings. And then me and my brother sit in front of TV and we're like, yeah, 2 minutes away, brother. 2 minutes away. Yeah, 1 minute. And we would run. Sometimes, you know, Polynesians, they don't really on time. They go early. and boom, they closed the doors, and me and my brother stuck outside the church. My dad would beat the shit out of us right in church.
Yeah.
And we're like, before the church, everybody's praying, and me and my brother be crying because we get beat up by my dad right in church. Very strict parents. So
Yeah.
my beginnings are wild because I left to go to Japan with no knowledge. When I left with no money. I had no luggage. I had a shoulder bag with my Bible and my picture album of my family and friends. That's all I had when I left Japan.
Wow.
I mean, and then my mom, because I'm Samoan, we wear those things called a pareo. If you see some of the athletes wear it. And she went and bought a shirt that says Samoa that morning. And that's what I wore to Japan. I had a slacks and a lower. I thought I was going to represent myself present, you know. But it ended up that's the way I went to Japan. And I left and went to Narita. I couldn't get out because those days, 44 years, you had to pay airport tax to get out of Japan. You had to pay like 2,000 yen to get a ticket to get out. And I had no money. So somebody from Hawaii who was on the same plane paid for me to get out. So when I got out of Narita, nobody's waiting for me at the airport. I don't know how the hell to get to Tokyo now. So I get
It's not
out.
like you could pull out your cell phone back then.
Yeah. So I jumped on a bus. There's a call, the limousine bus. We go to Narita since you've been, Narita. I jumped on the bus. The Japanese guys were yelling at me. I figured, oh shit, I don't think it's free. So I got off the bus and some local people who were on the plane with me was just at the uncle, man, I need some help. What you need, kid? They go, oh, I don't think I can get on the bus. I need money. So they paid for my trip to Tokyo. I got on the bus and that's how my career started. Zero.
Was there anybody in the stable when you got there that spoke English that could help you around?
The pioneer of all sumo is a guy named Takamiyama, Jesse Kolo. He was the first that actually made it in sumo, and he's a senior. He was there in 1961, so he was the first one to actually win an Empress Cup. A foreigner too. He's originally from Hawaii, Maui. Okay. He's from Maui, but actually he the one that actually talked me into it. He was stayed active when I joined, so we both were wrestling in the same stable. Oh, nice. And that's who kind of opened up the doors for us foreigners. So when I came, I think that's when it started when people started hearing more about it. In Hawaii, they were showing the matches actually on Japanese station they have in Hawaii. So you could get sumo live in Hawaii those days.
And you said you hosted a children's show for a while that was #1 in Japan. Were you like the Mr. Rogers of Japan for a while? Or?
I was like what is the character in Sesame Street growing up?
The bird.
Oh, Big Bird.
I was like a big bird. I'm in a orange customs. I look like a pumpkin, but actually, I'm like this guy that teaches kids how to speak Japanese, the proper Japanese. Oh, and I would do skits. It's very educational. It's all about education. So I teach them. We do skits, dancing, singing. I did that for 20 years.
Wow.
And I'm actually a recording artist. I have 14 albums in Japan.
Oh, whoa.
And the other thing I do acting. I was in that movie called Tokyo Drift.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
The Tokyo Drift that
Fast and Furious? Yeah.
Yes. The one that was Tokyo Drift, the guy that came out of the tub, who actually told those guys out of the hot
that's
spring.
you?
Yeah, that's me. The guy with the big tattoo on my back.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So I've done pretty much a little. And I was doing DJ. I did TV. I was like the #1 commercial guy in Japan for a couple years.
Yeah.
So I was doing like Suntory or the Sony PlayStations. And so I really was on TV pretty much and stuff.
Yeah.
And all I do now, I kind of produce more. I do music. So I was doing music before the pandemic until I fell in the wrong spot. I'm doing sumo and sushi. I was doing a lot of events in Japan. What I'm doing with sumo and sushi now. So we started this in 2019. So.
Yep. And if you're listening to this pod, so Sumo and Sushi, they do events all over the U.S. where you can go out, eat sushi, and watch sumo wrestling. And that's why you're in Chicago. You had an event last weekend, and you have an event coming up next weekend.
We had a beautiful event. This past weekend, we had 5 shows. We sold out every single show. We had family days on Sunday. And you could bring your family, your kids. The kids really got excited. You can see the kids yelling. I think it's going to open eyes for a lot of kids, a lot of families, because it's actually gentle compared to all of other contact sports, because a lot of traditions come with it. Mm-hmm. The tradition, the culture behind sumo actually teaches, not only shows action, but it's a lot of culture in it that it teaches people about Japan itself. So again, we have Chicago. Last year was our first time visiting Chicago, which we're kind of surprised. had a good showing. We sold out 5 shows. So we did 6 shows last year in 1 week. But this year, we're doing this weekend, we're doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So if you want to come and experience sumo, and this is a chance for you to see it this weekend in Chicago. We move on to Atlanta next week, and then down to Phoenix, LA, and then end up in San Francisco on this trip.
And if you're a tourist in Japan, are there only certain times of the year where you can watch sumo?
Sumo, its major tournaments are 6 times a year.
Yeah.
And if you're traveling to Tokyo, Tokyo has 3 major tournaments: January, May, and September. Okay. It's a 15-day tournament now.
Wow.
I don't know if there's an event that in the world that lasts 15 days.
Yeah.
12,000 people, and it's sold out the first hour it goes on sale.
Okay.
All 15 days.
Wow.
So it's very impossible. I have a pop-up booth when we do those tournaments, and every foreigner I see, they're there just to, they can't get tickets, but they come anyway just to hang out outside because they get to see all the professional sumo wrestlers.
Oh, okay.
And because we couldn't get tickets,
yes.
so they come anyway. They think they can get tickets, but
yep.
It's sold out.
I've been to Japan twice, and both times I'm like, oh, I should try to see a sumo wrestling match. I'm like, oh, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, because they come and they're not prepared for it because they think they come and you can buy at the door. The things go on the internet. The first hour, it's all sold out. It's crazy. Yeah. So I advise people, try to go to an agency because the agency, the travel agency has special packages that they have. Probably that's your only chance. If you try to get it on your own, majority of the time, you won't get it.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm doing a VIP tour, you'll be lucky to be on my tour. I do VIP tours. I only do 10 people exclusive.
Oh, okay.
So I did like 70 people this past tour, which I had a lady fly all the way from Tennessee, from New Jersey. We had people from all over America flying. And she actually came to my Tennessee show last year, came to Japan to watch the real Sumo in my VIP show, my tour. And then she came last night to actually the show here. Yeah. She lives in Tennessee, but she flew from Chicago. She flew Tennessee, but she flew to Chicago with her son to come and watch sumo last night.
And you're in probably some of the most famous sumo photos of all time. This is Konishiki.
Oh my God, that's you?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's him, right?
Yeah. So this photo was taken in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
And there's another photo with me with a kid in 1996.
Is this the one?
Yeah, this is very famous. He won the IOC Sports Photo of the Year in 1996. This is Australia.
Wow.
This is Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was taken in my last year of my career in Australia, and that won the International Olympic Committee Sports Photo of the Year.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah.
You were a big fella.
I was big. I was like 6'27", boys.
See, that I think I watch a lot of fat people shows on TLC, like My 600-Pound Life, and they can't move. Like the idea.
Well, that's the thing. You see the difference, you know?
Yeah.
We're not just big. You have to be on your feet for 5-6 hours with that weight. And I think the most thing that impressed the people that come to this sumo and sushi shows, they realize these big guys are moving for like hour and 40 minutes all during the show now. You know, and they're not just moving, they're moving. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we take like an hour break, we come back and do a second show. I don't think you can go and search. Even probably your top heavy guy in NFL would have a hard time just doing 2 shows back to back.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
no
not
one's playing
easy.
2 NFL games back to back.
And none of the NFL guys are, I mean, I think Jalen Carter for the Eagles is the biggest guy, and he's like 360 at best. Mm-hmm. Like you're talking about 300 pounds more than the biggest NFL player, and that guy's 6'9".
Yeah.
Yeah, because the boys who have this money, they're over 400, 200 pounds.
And they don't look it. Like,
yeah, but you watch them walk, just by seeing them earlier walking around, they're just walking like normal people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's the difference. The weight, the exercise we do actually prepare your body to carry your weight. For somebody 600, I could carry my weight. After my career, I was traveling the world. I was doing documentaries in Jamaica, Turkey, all the way down to Italy, to France. I was actually on TV most of the time. I did just a lot of documentaries after my career. I left the Sumo Association. I didn't end up having my own school. I just left and did my own thing. That's why I can do what I do, because once you leave, you're free. If you stay within the Sumo Association, you're part of a association that represents Japan, period. Yeah. So I can't really do anything on my own.
So like for us in American sports, we have like some organizations that have been kind of the gold standard for decades, like the Yankees, the Red Sox. Like you have those types of teams. Is there those types of stables?
Yeah, there's actually
Japan?
about 5. My stable was one of them. My boss was a grand champion, and the first grand champion that came on my stable his name was Konishiki. Konishiki Tsukiji, and that's my namesake. I was named after the first grand champion that came out of my sumo school. So I'm the number 6 Konishiki that came out of there. So like the Yankees, no one from other places can use the name Konishiki unless you're from my sumo stable. So there are 6 of them. The first one that made grand champion, and I'm the only one that actually made it as big as the name.
So you look at somebody you admire, and that's the name that you accept, kind of like the Pope would.
Yeah. Well, you got to give the name has to be given to you. You can't really chosen.
You have to earn it.
You have to earn the name. So they look at you. It's a big name, And I didn't know until, like I said, I didn't know nothing about sumo. I'm like they're like a lost chicken with no head, just trying to go with the flow and stuff. But slowly, as I buy English books and read about it, I go, holy shit, this guy used to be a grand champion, But as I grew into the sport, I grew loving it. And, I like the challenge. I'm a Samoan kid. You push me, I push you back. But the only hard thing about it, you have to push back with regulations and laws. You can't overdo it. Mm-hmm. So, like, one of my weirdest experience when I joined my first month, I come back, we were supposed to take out this rubbish because we're the youngest. We have to take care of rubbish. We have to clean toilets. We have to clean. Before I went to sumo school, every morning I was up at 3:30 in the morning, wiping down every stairs, which is 4 stairs. You're not allowed to do mops. It's all by hand. You down on your knees. I had to clean 4 bathrooms, make sure all the garbage was out. So then I would walk to school.
Yeah,
that's 3:30 in the morning every freaking day, bro, for 6 months.
Did you have a moment where you're like, I want to go back to Hawaii?
Well, that's the problem. I had no money to pay myself out. I had no passport because your passport get taken away, and then you have no choice but to stick it out. Why I had no. There's no way I was gonna go home anyway. I was like, I didn't know what the Japanese kids were. I was already like that. I was against my parents. They didn't know what I was doing, and I told them, there's no freaking way I'm going home. I'm gonna actually stick it out and do the best I can before anything, And that's something. I hate to bring it up, but I'm finally writing a book, and my book is coming out. It talks about what the hell I was thinking about when I was 18.
Yeah.
Think about it. Fuck, you go to a country that you don't know nothing about sumo.
Yeah.
You never know what Japan was. You thought Japan was China because you grew up watching Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And then you just throw your ass into a country that has this traditional sport. You find out, holy shit, you can't even do anything. You can't talk back. You can do this. You can do that. You can do everything you thought you could do in America. It's a flip and flop in the face. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I moved to Japan when I was 21, and I had the full support of like the whole Marine Corps. Like, had that, and there's thousands of people on the base that looked like me, spoke like me, knew the same things I did, and I was still nervous about going. I cannot imagine being your age going over there by yourself, and not just being in a culture, but completely immersing yourself in the most honorable side of that culture.
And that's why it's very unique, because people would ask me, some of the questions they would ask me, what is your best advice to young people who are like grading out of high school? And I tell them, well, the best thing to know is not to know. And just be ready, open heart, open-minded. You got to be ready, because the culture itself, my dad, the things that stuck into my mind when I left, my dad's word was, you got to be more Japanese than a Japanese. And just telling you, respect the culture.
Yeah.
And take everything you can while you can. It's like any other sport. If you can get away with murder, get away with murder. But you have to be smart with it. It's not like I was an angel. I found ways to get in and out of the system without getting busted. So, that's part of life. You grew up doing things where you try to get, it's a comfort zone for you if you can find something to actually lean on. I'm out there by myself, and one of the things I did, I didn't want to suffer my parents through my own problems. So my parents never know anything that happens to me unless they see it on the news. Mm-hmm. Through my whole life, my whole career since my parents passed, they never knew my phone number, because I would never tell them my number. Wow. I would call them every week, but just to check on them, but they never know my phone number, because I couldn't explain what sumo was. Like, I probably, you guys taking these to me, like, in your mind, how the hell? because I didn't want to explain myself. There's nothing normal about sumo that it's in America. That's why. I didn't want to explain myself because all I hear is why. I thought because it's Japan.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, I can come home. But so far, it's not about liking. I'm challenging myself to like it. So.
And coming from the Samoan culture and how I know how fiery that culture is, how was it learning to maintain your emotion for like the sportsmanship of sumo?
Well, actually, Samoan culture is kind of similar because everything's you have your top is your mom, your dad, and your brothers by rank. Sumo is everybody's seniority, which is not Samoan homes. Everything's like that. No matter how pissed off I had at my brother who's 2 years older than me, if he said I gotta do something, I gotta do something. That's how it is. And if mom gets pissed off, nothing is good all day because mom is pissed off now. And mom is the angels of our homes. If you listen to any Samoan athlete or Tongan athlete, all you have to do is call the mom and those guys will get back in place. I hosted some NFL coaches in Japan. And they said the one thing they love about you Polynesians, it's not hard to get you guys in control because all I have to do is call your moms. It's true.
Yeah.
Anything for mom, and we die for our moms, you know. So for me, my whole career, actually relates to sumo a lot.
Yeah.
Because being respected, always being calm is part of what sumo is all about too. So. In sumo culture is kind of same, but that fiery part, you think, I had to find a way to control that, And because I had that, I had an edge of the Japanese guys because I came in firing every freaking morning. And the only way I could get back to these guys is through practice. So I came in practice every day. I'll practice till 4:30. I'll be up 3:30 in the morning, down, training, lifting, doing all the things that nobody does. And by the time it came to practice, I was ready to kill people.
Yeah.
And that's the way I gained respect. I just start freaking killing guys in practice. Now, no experience now. Within 6 months, I was like top in my division, in my school already. In 8 tournaments, I was the fastest to ever start from the very bottom. I went up in the top rank in 8 tournaments, which is very unusual. In Japan, fastest 5 years. It took me less than a year and a half to make it.
Wow.
With no experience now. I had no experience in sumo. Within 13 tournaments, I was a junior champion already. Within 5 years, I became a champion. Never done before. Especially with somebody with no sumo experience. So that's why I write the book because I'm trying to find ways what makes a person goes that crazy to a point where I don't feel nothing. I see nothing but the goal. No matter how much injuries I had, I got broken fingers, I got bad shoulders. You don't feel the pain where you're so focused on something. That's the scary thing about a lot of athletes during my times. I'm in the 80s, so you hear about a lot of athletes go crazy, get injured and stuff. I understand that because you're so damn focused, your brain, you don't feel pain. And that's the hardest thing about retired athletes is because you're so addicted to pain that you fight it so much it puts you in dangerous areas in your life. In fact, last year in Chicago, Malasha almost died in Chicago.
Wow.
Kidney failure.
Jeez.
They got rushed to the hospital after the last day. And because of that, my brain couldn't get out. I cannot get out of my brain that I can handle pain.
Yeah.
That's the hardest thing I deal with my wife is every time I'm like over 100 degrees, I don't go to hospitals. I just don't give me cold water. I think I'm caveman. I think I'm God.
Yeah.
But your mentality is so freaking strong, it kills you. And I understand why a lot of these guys die because people don't do sports the way professionals do. It's different. You're dedicated to pain. And that's the problem that we have to deal with after retirement. I did 16 years. I still live with pain. But I'm already normal. My brain is already comfortable in telling me it's okay to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So and that's as a person being ex-sumo, we deal with all these different pains that all the professional people deal with. Just the culture itself that we live in is so different, so rare. It's hard to find any kind of sport like sumo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Konishiki, thank you. Did I pronounce that right?
You did it right, brother.
Konishiki, thank you so much for coming on. You have a very inspiring story. Did you have any final thoughts?
No, that was
questions?
awesome. Very, very interesting for sure.
Let's go learn the basics of sumo.
Let's do it.
Thank you for having me, guys.